Man of the match, who would you have given it to then today?
Vinicius Junior or Camavinga, I think it was a toss-up.
Agree. It was KDB.
Camavinga was... Look, Vinicius Junior played in his position and we all know what he can do, and he did it. But Camavinga never played left back in his life. He's doing it now for 2 months. He's coming in midfield, 1-2, defending. He looks strong, but the big man obviously will grab the headline, and I think he played better. So I will give it to Vinicius Junior, but Camavinga had an outstanding game.
Well, officially it was given to Kevin De Bruyne, just so you know, by the way.
What? Yeah, obviously. This is why there is a difference between ex-players, and I don't know who voted. It is true. Wow. It's a different game. Oh, you can't give... I love Kevin. Amazing goal. You're telling me that's not Vinicius Junior. I want that. Come on. But I have to say, I came across a lot of players, played with a lot of players. So a lot of players play against some of the greatest. I think Kevin his brain is, I think it's the best that I've seen. Brain, we're not talking about the way he sees the game, and this is why we were talking about it a bit before. Because his brain is in some places, I don't know what he thinks about sometimes, in all fairness. You look at him and it's almost like he's not with us, if you know what I mean, because he's that good, and sometimes it can be a problem because you're not on his level. But I think he's the most clever player I've seen in my life. We're talking about the brain, eh? Mm-hmm. It's just second to none the way he thinks. And you know why also? Because I saw him for 6 years on and off with Belgium. You also a bit more kind of, you love the man a bit more, if you know what I mean, because I saw stuff that he did in training and in games. And yes, at times it was driving him crazy because he's a perfectionist, and perfectionists don't like if the pen is here, you move it, he's not well. Like he will look at the word, don't touch my pen. You know, and you put it back, say, don't touch my pen again. You know what I mean? Those guys are not, but he's unbelievable.
You played with 2 of the best midfield players, I think, in the history of the game, in terms of Xavi and Iniesta. Now, they won World Cup, Euros, Champions League. Now, do you think the greatest players, as I just said, have to win that? Or it can just be you're judging players on their ability and what they do season after season? Or do you think the real greats have to be defined by a tournament in terms of a Euros or a World Cup and the Champions League?
It helps, Jimmy. And usually those players win that. You know, it rarely happens that those players don't win that, apart if they're not playing maybe in a national team where they can, and you can understand why. Okay? But you mentioned 2 players there. Again, I go back to the same thing. Lionel Messi was getting the accolades, and rightly so. Samuel Eto'o was outstanding. Ronaldinho, I played in that team. Some other players. But the most important players were Xavi and Iniesta. They were making us stick. We have to go, we have to stop. Now we go, now we are them. And what were the stats? You can also bring stats. What were the stats of Andres Iniesta at the end of the season? 4 goals, 5 assists. But man, we needed him. Xavi, also, not a lot. But when they were not there, we were not the same teams. And trust me, with quality, with pace, with power, we had maybe better player, more valuable player, guys with assist and goals at will. But those guys were the most important players. But to go back to what you were saying,